One of the things I love to ask people is, what was your most challenging scene to film?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have so many scenes that come to mind. Our show is it is surprisingly tricky to film, both because of the speed at which we film and just because of the massive amount of special effects and fight scenes. And, when you watch it on TV, it's a fun, snappy kids show, but we are shooting it like any other, action sequence. One that comes to mind specifically is in the first episode, I think, the episode with Malware, there's a fight where Chloe is using teleportation to distract and knock the villain off of his game. And we were right up against her pumpkining, her running out of legal hours to work. Because as a kid, you can only work a certain number of hours, and they're very, very strict with it. You can't go a second over. And so we had this whole big scene planned, and we had like I think it was literally like 90 seconds to get it. And our director, Trevor Kirshner, is just like absolutely incredible. And he was like, okay, roll, we're not cutting. And he was just like, Maya, go there, say this line, great, move here, say this other line from this other part, move here, like shot the whole thing completely out of order and without stopping and with like one chance to get each line of it right. And it was perfect. And in the edit, it like totally looks right. You would never know that we were literally about to lose her and slightly panicking. I mean, he wasn't panicking. He was cool as a cucumber.
Well,
But
then let's jump to the flip side of that question. What was the most fun scene to film?
we filmed a scene. I'm going to speak carefully here because I don't want to spoil, but I don't know if I think I can say we have a Christmas episode coming later in the year towards Christmas. And there's a big musical number. And that was super fun to film because we don't do that very often on our show. And that's all I'll say because I don't want to incriminate myself further.
That is amazing. I actually have on my notes too that I was going to ask if we have any chance we'll hear your music in the series.
Yeah, none of my music, but I do sing two big musical numbers, which was really fun. I really felt like I had a lot to prove because I sang a little bit in the original series and it wasn't very good. I hadn't warmed up yet that day. I hadn't like learned how to take care of my voice yet. I was really young and I was super nervous and I sang it live on set and I couldn't really hear myself. And they told me to play it very sort of nervously because Phoebe didn't have a lot of confidence at the time. And I took that nervousness and I feel like it made me sing worse. And so there's been that one episode on TV my whole life where I've always been like, oh, I could have done so much better. So this felt like my chance for redemption to like really, really show my chops. And I'm really happy with it. I'm excited for people to see it. I think it's super fun. And I'm in a crazy costume. It's great.
So you have a lot of things happening in your career lately. The music, there's other roles like that 90s show. What made you want to revisit the Thundermans?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, first of all, the fans really wanted it. And I'm super grateful to the fans of the show for being as loud as they were about wanting more of it when the show got popular on streamers during the pandemic. It was the chance to be an executive producer and direct and make television in that other way that really excited me about coming back to the project. I being an actor has its merits, it has its fun, it's also got its drawbacks. But I've really, really enjoyed the opportunity to produce, to do all of the other parts of television making that I've studied over the course of my whole career, but never really gotten to put into practice until now. So it was great. It really helped make it feel like moving forward and not going back to an old thing. This whole experience of doing the movie and doing the series, the spinoff, have felt very much like a new chapter rather than going back to high school. Although a little bit of that too.
What are some of the biggest differences between the previous Slenderman series and this new spinoff? Like, if you were going to pitch this
Yeah.
to somebody, why should they watch?
Sure. I mean, from a BTS perspective, from my experience, the biggest difference is that we film it in Vancouver. So it's an on location shoot and we film 2 episodes a week instead of 1 episode a week. So it's very intense, very accelerated. It's like filming a movie. It's like full speed ahead. But in terms of the fans, we really wanted to make the show feel like everything you loved about the original show with enough new stuff to make it feel like you have a reason to keep watching. So we wanted to keep the heart and the charm and the humor and, many of the main characters the same and the action and that sort of balance of action and family comedy that I think is really integral to the show. But then also we've got a couple of new characters. My favorite new piece of the show is that we are on an extended mission in a beach town called Secret Shores. And so the sets are just beautiful and colorful and bright. It's a really lovely world to live in for each, 22-minute episode. It's a really lovely world to live in for long 15-hour days on set because it's just bright and full of greenery and, ocean views. We've got a couple new characters who bring a lot of fun new life to the show, a lot of new kind of guest stars and little bits. And the house is great. We've got a new lair up in the sky, an air lair, as opposed to our old basement lair. But really, it is also just Thundermans at the end of the day. So.